Dear students, welcome to SS and CD class. SS and CD stands for System Software and Compiler Design. Subject code is 17CS63, that is third subject of sixth semester of 2017 scheme. The same subject and same syllabus is for 2015 scheme also. First module has three chapters. The first chapter is Introduction to System Software. Second chapter is Assemblers. Third chapter is Macroprocessors. Note it, it is macroprocessors. It is not microprocessors. Let us start with first chapter, that is Introduction. Okay. So before going to this introduction, let me to explain some simple concepts like a program, software, types of softwares, etc. So program is nothing but set of instructions what we give to machine or computer to perform a task. Okay. Software is a collection of programs or a set of programs to perform again particular task or well defined task. Okay. See, this software has uh, two types. That is, first type is system softwares and second type is application softwares. As its name itself is system softwares, this is a collection of programs which is developed and used to operate the system itself. It means to operate the computer system. It is very essential to run or operate the computer system. Best examples are operating systems, compiler, assembler, debugger, some text editors, loader, linker, etc. These all are examples for system softwares. Application software, as its name itself is application software, so this software or these collection of programs are developed and used based on a particular requirement or need of a user. Here user wants to solve a problem and he wants to solve that problem by using an application. Okay. And to run that application he wants some device, so he has chosen a computer as a just a tool or device. So here these application softwares are not necessary to run the system. These are not necessary or essential to run or operate the system or computer. So user can solve that problem with that application in any other devices also. Okay. He has just chosen the computer as just a tool, and in that computer he has just using a he is just using that application to solve his problem. Okay. So this is the main difference between system software and application software. In system software, why we should study system software? So we will clearly get the knowledge or understanding of how computer actually exactly works internally. Okay. We will understand how computer works internally, and also we we will come to know that different types of system softwares, and we will come to know that how the processes are executing, and what all the circus is going on inside the computer or machine. That is nothing but behind the scene or behind the screen, what all the things are going on we can study. So we should study this system software subject. So let us start here from the first topic, that is introduction. System software definition is: system software is a collection of different programs, and these different collection of different programs support the operation of a computer. As now, just now I told you, it is going to support the operation of computer, and this software helps the user to just focus on only application, to just focus on only his application or his problem, and to solve the problem without knowing how machine works internally. Here user no need to worry about how machine works internally, how machine solve my problem and all those things. He can just focus on his problem, and with which application he is going to solve that problem, it's enough for him to know. He doesn't need to know how machine is going to solve this problem, how machine works internally. These all things should not be bothered by the user. So system software is a collection of different programs, and that programs support the operation of a computer, and this software helps the user to just focus on his application and to solve the problem without knowing how the machine works internally. Why we should study system software? There are three main reasons are there. We will gain a deeper understanding or knowledge of how the computer or machine works actually, exactly, or internally. Second reason is we will understand the processes that are going on behind the scenes. On screen, on monitor screen, we will perform so many tasks, but inside the machine, behind the scene, how those tasks are accomplishing, these all things we don't bother about. These all things, by studying these system software, we will understand how the processes are going on behind the scenes. And third reason is we will learn about different types of system softwares. Okay, and I think already we know the three levels of programming languages: low level language, assembly level language, and last one is high level language. The first one, low level language, is also called as machine level language, because these languages are understood only by the machines, not by the human beings. So these these languages contain only zeros and ones. So it is very easy for machines to understand, but it is very difficult for human beings to understand. And next is assembly level language. So this is also similar to low level language only, but somewhat different from low level language, because low level language contains only zeros and ones. This assembly level language contains some English words like instructions. So these instructions are called as mnemonic instructions or else macro instructions. So instead of containing only zeros and ones, the assembly level language contains some English words like MOV, move, ADD, addition, SUB, subtraction, like this mnemonic instructions or macro instructions it has. Then last level of language is high level language, which is completely in terms of English sentence like instructions, so which is easily understood by the human beings, and which is very difficult for the machines to understand. And since these machine level languages only will be executable in the machines, so ultimately we have to convert high level language into low level language or machine level language, and one converter or one translator will help us to convert high level language to low level language, that is compiler. So compiler is also one best example for system software. So assembly level languages are also for human beings only. Machines cannot understand assembly level language, so ultimately again we have to convert assembly level language into low level language with the help of one converter or translator, that is called as assembler. So assembler is also one example for system software. So so first we started to write programs in high level languages like C, C++, Java, Python, Perl, R, PHP, Ruby, etc. So using some text editors, in text editors only we started to type the programs. These text editors are also example for system software. Wherever I have underlined with pencil, these all are examples for system software. And after writing these high level programs in high level languages, we translated or converted these programs into machine level language using a compiler. So this compiler is also example for system software, and that resulting converted code or object program or machine language program will be loaded into the memory and prepared for execution by loader or linker. This loader and linker is also are also examples for system software. And then we also used a debugger to detect or find the errors in our program. This debugger is also an example for system software. So next, once we learned to write programs in high level language, then we also started to write the programs in assembler language also, or assembly level language also. So here we used macro instructions to read and write the data, to perform some simple operations like reading the data and printing the data. We used macro instructions. Apart from these simple read and write data tasks, to perform some any other high level tasks or functions, also we used macro instructions in assembly level language. Then we translated these assembly level language or assembly level language programs into machine level language using a assembler. So this assembler is also one best example for system software. This assembler contains a macro processor, and the resulting or converted or translated object code or machine language program is prepared for execution by again loader or linker. These two are again examples for system software. Then that program tested using the debugger. Again, debugger is an example for system software. See here we have one hierarchy of programming languages. First level is high level language, which is understood only by the human beings, and second level is assembly level language, which is also again understood by the human beings, and third one is machine level language, which is understood by the computers or machines. And below that we will get some hardware components of computer system. Examples for high level languages are C, C++, Fortran, Python, Java, Pascal, PHP, Ruby, R. These all are high level languages. These all are for human being. And assembly level language, I think you have already studied some microprocessors, 8085, 8086. There we have used some English word instructions like MOV, ADD, SUB, etc., etc. These all type of English words or instructions are called as macro instructions or mnemonic instructions. With these mnemonic instructions only we can write assembly level language programs, and these are also for human beings, but machine level language is for computers. So machine level languages or lowest level are the only languages understood by the computers, since they entirely consist of only numbers or digits like zeros and ones. They are impossible to use by the humans. Therefore these programmers or humans use either high level language or else assembly level language. Next, high level language programs are translated into assembly language or machine level language by a compiler. And an assembly level language contains the same instructions as machine language, but instead of zeros and ones it contains some mnemonic instructions. Okay, but instructions and variables have names instead of only numbers. Yeah, assembly level language programs are translated into machine level language by an assembler. Assembler is also one example for system software. In next class we will see exact definition of system software, and what are the difference between system software and application software, and we will study some machine architectures.